It's the realist.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your guy Realistic, and in this video I'm going to be going over the Pro Tools Smart Tool. But first, before we get into that, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you can see videos just like this pop up in your feed. And also, if you do find this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button, because believe it or not, it does go a long way to help the channel grow. Because if you like it, then it tells YouTube that maybe other people might like it and show it to them as well. And then I can keep making videos like this. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this Pro Tools Smart Tool. My apologies for any advanced users. This is more of an entry level tip right here. You know, there's people at all different areas that are trying to learn Pro Tools. Some people are just learning it. Some people have known it for a long time. So if you're looking for more advanced techniques or Pro Tools tips like that, just tell me in the comments what you'd like to see and I can do a video like that. But this one definitely is for people that are just getting a fresh start into Pro Tools and trying to understand it. So let's go over our Smart Tool. This is the preferred default setting that most of us in the industry use, and let's talk about its advantages. So we have a lot of different options and they're all up here, and these are what our mouse is going to be, our selection tool here. So when it's not in smart mode, we have a few different options here. We have our trim tool here, and the only thing this does is it's going to just trim it either longer or shorter. And then we have other functionalities inside here like our time stretching. So if our loop or our sample, or if we're trying to do a remix and it's in a different BPM, this will then allow us to adjust the timing and the BPM of that. And then our other option right here is our loop tool, which is really cool if we got a clip and we're just trying to loop it over and over again. You see as I drag this, it's going to just loop this from the beginning there. So those are handy as well. Let's go back to standard. Our other option up here is our selection tool. And when our selection tool is on, all we can do is select. We can't grab, we can't trim. All we can do is select. And same with our grabber tool. When this is on, all we can do is grab. We can't select, we can't trim. All we can do is just grab a clip and move it, which it's cool that we have all these functionalities. However, when we switch it to the Smart Tool, we have all the functionalities together. So there's a few different ways to get to that. The long time-consuming way is to go up here and to hit the top of this, and this switches us over to our Smart Tool. The other option that I use all the time is a quick command, Command 7, and that will switch us over to our Smart Tool. There is another quick command. It is F7. However, when you hit that, if you're on a Mac computer, sometimes we have these other play functionalities here, and F7 is actually our next track. And yes, you can disable that, and if you want to do that on your system, that's great. However, I do think that getting the habit of Command 7 is the way to go, just because my hope is that you use these Pro Tools tips to eventually land yourself into some big sessions, maybe some commercial studios, maybe you're working with a big artist. You're not always going to be in your studio, and F7 might not be, the F keys may not be functional on that particular system in that studio, but Command 7 is always going to work. So it's just good habit to be in that. Anyways, yeah, always hit Command 7. That's how I get to my Smart Tool. So let's talk about the advantages of the Smart Tool and why it's so useful. So whenever we are on the top of a clip, it's going to turn into a selection tool. When we go towards the bottom of a clip, it's going to turn into our grabber tool, so we can grab and move clips. When we go on to the sides of a clip, it's going to turn into our trimmer tool, so we can make a clip shorter or longer. When we go to the top corner of a clip, it's going to go into either a fade out or a fade in, depending on if you're starting at the left or right. When we go to the bottom corner of a clip, it's going to turn into our crossfade here. So the Smart Tool allows us to have all the functionalities that we have up here in our little tool selection, but depending on where we place our mouse, we have a totally new functionality. And so most of us that use Pro Tools, we're using the Smart Tool most of the time. The only exception for me is if I have a song, let's say I load something in there and we're either doing a remix, or if somebody has a loop or a sample they want me to use and we're in a different BPM, I'll switch to our time control. So let me just go ahead, our time stretching tool. So let me just go ahead and switch the BPM here and show you what I'm talking about. Now, you can go up here and you can select this down, and our trim tool has a drop down menu, and TCE is going to be our time stretching. That's an option, but I'm a quick command guy. So this one is where I do use an F key, because the F key for F6 doesn't have any playback functionality. So I'm going to hit F6 here on my keyboard, and that's going to switch it over to, if I hit it once, it's going to change my trim tool to the loop tool that we talked about earlier. However, if I hit it twice, then we're going to get our time stretching tool. So let's go ahead and I'll show you that. Goes there. And then if I hit it 2 more times after that, then it's going to go back to our original trim tool, and then I can just go back to our Smart Tool. So that's about the only exception that I'm going to be outside of the Smart Tools if I need an extra one of those functionalities. Anyways, hopefully this was helpful and you have a better understanding of the Smart Tool, and hopefully this is something that you can apply in your sessions right away. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this tutorial. If you found it useful, be sure to like and subscribe, because it does help the channel grow. When you like a video, it tells YouTube that you liked it, and maybe other people will like it as well. And also be sure to check out my online mixing and mastering courses, the art of beat mixing, the art of vocal mixing, and the art of mastering, all available now. And if this video was helpful and you're looking for other videos, you can watch a video here, here, and here. All right, until next time, y'all.